All right, so GOWUTAR reached out to me, wanted me to do a review on this, and I was kind of wanting to get into the pistol red dot game anyway, but I was kind of skeptical because I have astigmatism, and I didn't know, for those of you who don't know, if you have astigmatism, red dots end up being really blurry and kind of like star pattern. So I was really kind of skeptical about, spending a lot of money on a red dot, put on a handgun and have it not be any better or more beneficial than, just that standard front sight right there. So about this same time, GOWUTAR reached out and they said, hey, you want to test one of these, red dots and do a video on it? I said, well, heck yeah. I'm wanting to test out red dots on a handgun, so I didn't want to spend a lot of money and invest in one. So I said, it kind of worked out perfect. And the best part is this has actually been a pretty good red dot so far. It's got some scratches on the top, as you can see. I did a few drop tests on it. It did maintain 0, and still on. It's doing pretty good, and I think it's going to work out great for what I need it for. Before we get too far into this red dot as it sits right now, I'm going to go to the countertop there and show you how I got it mounted up and some of the issues and things I had to deal with getting it mounted onto this MOS plate for my Glock 19. Alright, so we're going to use the number 2 plate from the MOS pack. That's the RMR cut. So it's the one that's got the footprint for the RMR. We can get that out. And the first thing we got to do is take the Picatinny off of the red dots, which is these little 2 screws on top. Just loosen those, get them all the way backed out, and get that little plate all the way off of there. Alright, now we're going to just take the same T10 Torx screw key and take that little blank off the top of the slide, get that out of there, and we're going to take our, like I said, number 2 MOS adapter plate, and we're going to put that on top. Fits right in, and just use 2 of the screws that came in the pack and put them down through there and attach it to the slide. And then the optic will mount on top of that. What I ran into when I tried to get the optic mounted on there was the screws that came with it that fit into the MOS plate for the RMR. They were a little bit too long. As you can see, that black one right there is sticking up just a little bit. It wouldn't let you tighten it all the way down, so I had to file it down. You can see the silver one is the one that I've been filing down on, and you see just how just a little bit sticks out. And this is off of the gun. This is not how you mount it. I just test fit it like this to make sure I had the screws filed all the way down. But like I said, put the plate on, then put the optic on top of it. So here it is, all mounted up and ready to go. All right, so yeah, this is the box that comes in. Pretty nice packaging, just like any other, kind of red dot. Good cardboard box, good label, a little bit of information on the outside. Shake awake design. It's RMR footprint, so that's good. It's kind of popular. 1 MOA click, 7075 aluminum. That's the stronger version. 6061 is good, but 7075 is just better. 10 brightness settings, 2 night vision. I did test this out on night vision, and it did pretty good. Waterproof, shockproof, fogproof, all the basic stuff. Inside, you get a little cleaning cloth, which is good because you don't want to be cleaning these lenses with things that will scratch them. This little cover, I guess is a good little touch, but I'm not really going to use it because it doesn't fit on here, with the sights and all that stuff all around it. This is the base that it came with, the little Picatinny base, I should say. It's a great touch. You can mount this on an AR, a lever gun, a shotgun, 22, whatever you want. I figured it'd be a pretty cool little thing to put on a lever gun, like a little Marlin 30-30. So you can see there's the two little posts for the RMR footprint. Just mounts up those two little screws. You know, nothing fancy, but it's pretty good touch. Here's one of these doesn't actually belong in here, but you get I think it's a T10 Torx bit, which T10 is like what everything uses: scope caps, these things, the RMR plate, all that stuff. And then, like I showed you earlier, a whole bunch of screws in here and a little silica pack. So there you go. It's a little more about what's in the box. I didn't end up using the Picatinny plate because, as you can see, it's mounted on this handgun right here, my Glock 19 MOS, which works perfect. It does sit a little bit too high for the sights, which is no big deal. You can just get suppressor height sights, which I might end up putting on here because I end up wanting to pick up the front sight as I'm drawing. I want to find that front sight, and I can't see it lined up. So what I end up doing is catching it right here, and then the dot is like up above the window, and I have to point down and get rid of the front sight so I can find that dot right there. So the sight's a little higher, I can find it, and the dot will be in the window a little bit better, I think. So no big deal, easy fix. Either way, I'm a big fan of pistol mounted red dots. I do have some footage from when I was outside shooting it. The first time I shot it, I actually didn't even have to zero it. You know, you'll find out in a minute when I take you outside. I had it mounted, and I took some shots, and it was dead on. Never had to adjust any of the windage and elevation right here. All I did was click them a few times outside the box just to hear the clicks and to feel, you know, how tactile they are. But other than that, I didn't have to do anything to it. I just mounted it to the or put the RMR plate down, MOS plate, and mounted it to the top, and it was ready to go. It was pretty cool. Here's the buttons on the side right there, up and down. You know, pretty good. I think I've got it about halfway, maybe 5 or 6 right now, which is good for daylight. I can see it in daylight just fine. It is a little bit bright at nighttime, but you know, that's just something you're gonna have to deal with. It does have shake awake. I think it's 4 minutes. So if it sits still for 4 minutes, like when you know, take your gun off at night and you set it down, the dot's going to cut off. It's not going to run all night when you don't need it. And the minute you touch it, it's coming back on. Like I set it on the counter and waited for it to go off where I could see it. You know, I looked through it and I could see the dot go off. And I like tapped the gun like that, and it immediately came on. So you don't think you're going to have to worry about, you know, drawing the gun and waiting on the dot to cut on. It's like instant. So that's a good thing. Here's the paperwork that it comes with. Just got some information. You know, GOWUTAR aims to provide customers high quality, blah, blah, blah. 3-year technical warranty. Any problems or doubts with the red dot, feel free to contact us and they'll resolve the problem, which I don't really know what that means, what they'll do, but you know, whatever. Here's a little picture diagram. It's got some specs, measurements, just telling you where everything is, the windage, elevation, all that stuff. And then there's a little bit closer of the little RMR cut, Picatinny mount, all that stuff, parallax, 2 MOA dot, reticle. 1 MOA is equivalent to approximately 1 inch at 100 yards. So there you go. Some specifications: micro red dot, 2 MOA dot, 1 magnification, 8 daytime, 2 night vision settings, waterproof, IPX8. That's just a waterproof rating. Battery life is 160 to 50,000 hours. And I'm sure that 50,000 is probably on the lowest night vision setting. But like I said, it's got shake awake. So half the time you have the gun, if it's sitting, you know, on your nightstand and you're safe in your vehicle, locked away, whatever, it's not going to be running. If you're carrying it, obviously, as you're moving, it's going to stay on, but you kind of want it to be on. 7075 aircraft grade aluminum. We already went over that. And it does have the ruby red multicolored lens right there. You kind of see it. There's a little bit more about the shake awake. The A20 integrates with motion activated illumination. They call it MOTAC. That's pretty cool little acronym there. Automatically turns on when it's moved and will auto shut off if not moved for 4 minutes. Like I said, 4 minutes. It does take a weird battery, a 1632. I wish it took like a 2032, the standard size, whichever one that is. This one's just a little bit smaller. I'm not sure how popular it is. I haven't shopped for it at Walmart, so I don't know. But I know the other ones are very popular because every red dot uses them. Even my illuminated reticle scopes use that battery, so that's one little downside. Change the battery. You can change the battery from the top, which is good. This circle right. Oh, never mind. There it is. The circle right there. You take the same Torx bit. You can get to it from the top. It does have clearance right there to come straight down while it's mounted. Turn that off. That's where the battery is. Put the cap back on. It's sealed with an O-ring. And tighten it back up and you're good to go. So you don't have to unmount the red dot to get the battery. You don't have to worry about having a plate on the bottom like the RMRs, like it seals the bottom of it up, because the battery's up here, nothing on the bottom is exposed. Yeah, there it is, the GOWUTAR A20 mini red dot sight. It's RMR footprint for the price. I think it's 110 on Amazon. There'll be a link down the bottom. For that price, I think it's a pretty good red dot sight. I've dropped it, banged it up a little bit on top there. I've seen other people shoot it with a shotgun. The lens broke, but the dot was still working, I think. So, it's a pretty tough little red dot. And, if you want to put it on a handgun, I think you'll be just fine putting it on one. It'd probably be really good, like I said, for a lever gun, shotgun. If you wanted to have one like side mounted on an AR, like for your SPR, or just any kind of magnified optic that you need a little one magnification red dot for. It's parallax free. This would be a great little option. So check them out.